Hi guys, the little artist here with a new video for you. And before going into talking specifically about this week's piece, I just want to do a disclaimer. So this piece was made as part of the latest YTAC theme, and I am not a member of YTAC, obviously. But they do say that anyone can participate if they want to. And I have been participating unofficially for, I think, the last 4 themes, and find it very inspiring to have to do a piece just by being given a theme, and then just doing something like with the scroller box, but with the scroller box you're limited by the supplies as well. So I really find it inspiring to have to do something from that, and it usually results in, for me at least, doing something completely different, or well, maybe not completely different, but something that I wouldn't have done otherwise, or would have even thought of doing otherwise. So I really like that, the inspiration and the challenge of it. Yeah, and because I'm not participating officially, I also have kind of done my own adjustment to the theme this time, because the theme was spirit animals, but with a focus on endangered species. And I just thought that was an awesome theme, and the idea I had quite quickly didn't really involve a threatened or endangered species, but I chose to go forward with that species as well, or anyways. So this animal that I chose is the Arctic wolf, which is on the list as a potential endangered species, but it is not endangered right now. So but I just think it's such a beautiful animal, and I love the idea of having to go with those light colors, a white wolf instead of just grays. And it's always difficult, I find, to draw something that has a lot of white in it, because you really can't use that color. Well, I don't even think it's defined as a color. And yeah, just I think I saw a picture online somewhere that was either it was a digital drawing, I think it was a picture that was manipulated, where they put turquoise into the eyes of this wolf, and it just looked so beautiful and so piercing, those eyes. So I had the idea that I wanted to do that, and then split up the drawing, as you can see here, and then having that being having the Arctic wolf being the spirit animal of this girl, as per usual, and then keeping the colors similar, just to kind of signify also the connection between the two. And also did a lot of there was a lot of consideration into the coloring here, because I wanted her to have white hair just to kind of match the fur of the wolf. But again, it's difficult to do shading on something that's white without getting the shading to take over, so that it looks gray, or whatever you use, whatever color you use for shading. So I decided that I wanted to, keep as much of it as possible without dark shading, to keep the shading as quite light compared to the contrast I usually use. And then I decided to use some blue to kind of get that icy feel of it, instead of just, oh, it looks like she has gray hair. And then it would be a lot of grays all over the drawing, I think. So I wanted it to stand out as well. So I did use, after some color swatches, I did use blue and then put some cool grays on top of it, just to, I didn't want the blue to pop too much. And then used the lightest cool grays to color in the rest of the hair that wasn't shaded. So, and I quite like that result, even though you more get the feeling that she has blue hair than white. I think it's okay, and I like the way it kind of goes with the eyes, the blue in the eyes, and so it's not all just grays. So I also decided at the end to put the same blue color into the fur of the wolf, just to be kind of get some cohesive color theme. And then I actually normally, usually I do little thumbnail color studies when I've done a piece, just to figure out what colors to do and if they work together and stuff like that. And then other times I just kind of know from the beginning which colors I want to use and don't feel the need to do it. And then I often color my sketch in kind of loosely, just with color pencils, just to get an idea. And so the colors for this one, for the wolf and the girl, I had decided on, and then I actually planned on doing the background in really dark gray bluish tones. So the I think it's actually called midnight blue or something like that, the darkest one in that range, the 90s, the B90s. And I usually color all my light colors before my dark colors. I don't know if you've noticed, but just because using the Bristol board paper, one of the things I really like about it is that you can reactivate the ink after it has dried. And if you're doing a light color just next to a very dark color, you actually risk reactivating the darker color and getting that into the light areas. And that has happened to me previously. So I've just, the way I do it now is that I always do the light colors first. And in this picture, that also allowed me to kind of see the result of the main thing, which is the girl and wolf in the center, and just kind of assess what would look good with them. And so when I was coloring her hair in, I felt that already then that it would be too much blue, and that if I used my warm grays, it would really make her hair and the light color of her and the wolf pop more. And I'm so glad I decided to go with that, because I really do think that it makes them pop. And then I actually decided also I had planned on doing the moon in these bluish tones, but I decided doing a more realistic moon, and I'm also very happy about that. I do think it looks relatively realistic, and then the only blue you see is on the girl and the wolf. So I really think that makes them pop. And yeah, I think that's what I can say about my thought process doing this. I did use reference photos for the wolf, not just one but several. Just I didn't try to copy them or anything, just more to get the kind of general idea. And then it's my first time drawing a wolf, so, and it doesn't, I know it definitely doesn't look realistic, but that wasn't the intent anyway. So I am quite happy with the result overall, and I thought it was just such a great theme this time, and I am looking forward to seeing what the next theme will be, but we'll have to be patient for that. So yeah, goodbye for this time, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Bye.